Well, good morning. My name's Karen Tems of the Business Network in Central and East Lancashire, proud sponsor of Business Bites for business leaders. Start again.
Okay.
Ready? Sorry. Good morning. My name's Karen Tems of the Business Network, Central and East Lancashire, proud sponsor of Business Bites with business leaders in conjunction with Lisa Edge of Lancashire and GBTV. Today, it gives me great pleasure to chat with Anne Williamson of Customer Love. Good morning, Anne.
Good morning, Karen.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Really good.
Fantastic, fantastic. So you've got a brilliant company name, Customer Love. So tell me about Customer Love, and so that I don't put my understanding on what it is, you tell me about what you do, how you do.
Okay. So Customer Love is all about helping businesses develop really deep relationships with their customers. So my background is all marketing, but it's always been about the relationship between a business and their customers. And when you start to involve customers in your business, they not only help you with developing your business, but they actually start to sell for you without even being encouraged, because they talk about you all the time. So for me, it is all about having that relationship. And some of you may know that I wrote a book all around dating, how that applies to business, and with real life stories. And it's all about taking you through the customer journey that a customer has with your business. So Customer Love came from that. So I work with all sorts of businesses, and I help them look at their customer service processes, and also the communication that they have as well. And sometimes it's minor tweaks make massive differences within a business, with communication especially. Absolutely. Yeah.
If you think of an incoming sales inquiry and an outgoing solution, how many contacts that could be, then there are lots of opportunities to get it brilliantly right, or lots of opportunities for it to go horribly wrong.
So very true. And salespeople get frustrated quite often with other people within the business who they feel have undone the whole sale that they've spent, in many cases, quite considerable time developing a relationship with a customer, building that rapport, ending up in a sale, and then somebody else completely scuppers it with something that they don't realize, that they think they're just doing a job, and it undoes a sale or puts the salesperson on the back foot. So yeah, very true.
So a lot of managing egos.
Yeah, and processes. Sometimes the simplest of things, it can be somebody putting somebody on stop, in accounts, and it's like, why have you done that? We've, all the notes are there, and they've just gone through a process and not actually considered the implications. So yeah.
Fantastic. Well, as you know, we're just starting to come out of lockdown, and I'm just wondering, how has the COVID-19 pandemic affected your business?
Okay, so it affected me because quite a lot of the work I do, I deliver with training, and I had 2 phone calls in one particular day just before lockdown, but obviously they were organisations who were seeing that lockdown was going to be inevitable. And 2 big pieces of training delivery got pulled, and it was like, ooh, okay. I didn't really think about it at the beginning, that lockdown would really affect me that much. I haven't actually considered it, because I'm not a big news watcher. So these 2 pieces of training got pulled, and I just saw my sales forecast taking a nosedive, and I was like, right, okay. However, it gave me opportunities. It gave me some opportunity to actually take a step back and look at my business, and how was I going to work moving forwards. One of those pieces of training has now been delivered online, which has been fantastic. I have done Zoom in the past with one particular client, and I'm not a tech person, and I find it quite disconcerting seeing myself up there on the screen. However, it then led me into new things. So this training has happened online. It's been fantastic. It hasn't it's probably lessened the experience slightly for myself. I would say not for the people I'm delivering with, but only because I like the 3D effect. I do like to see humans in person. And I think when you've got lots of people on the screen and you're trying to see the reactions, whereas when they're working around a table together, it's very different.
Yeah, sure.
But from that, I ended up with a new idea. So,
which is brilliant.
Yeah.
So tell me about your response.
So after my initial response, I thought, okay, how am I going to work with this moving forwards? I had a 12-month plan in place, and at the end of this 12 months, I was looking at doing some online training, but it was 12 months away. You know, it was literally not in my. It was an idea, and there were 2 ideas, and it was one of them. So all it did was it made that come forward. So I decided to take all of my knowledge and help businesses who were either very young, as in not people wise, but in how long they've been going, and were maybe sole traders or 2 or 3 employees, up to 30 employees, but those would be businesses who didn't have a marketing team, or had a marketing person who was put into that position because they were really great at other things, and it was like, oh, you can be our marketing department. And I've seen that many times with businesses that I've worked with. So I decided to launch something that would actually help people not make mistakes, not make costly mistakes in marketing. I've seen it so many times in the past where people waste time and money, and time does cost. We don't think about it all the time, but it has a huge implication on what we can do. You know, if we waste all our time doing something that isn't going to work, but we don't know, we waste that plus the ongoing time that we've then got to recover, basically. So I developed a video learning. So it's video sessions where people can download little chunks of marketing at a time. They also get worksheets to work through, and then some accountability in there as well. There's different levels of the service. And I put it out on LinkedIn for some what I call guinea pigs to come and trial it, because as with anything in marketing, trialing is really important. So, you know, I could have thought, oh, I've got this amazing idea, and then nobody bought it. It happens, you know, it happens a lot in business. You know,
but what's the matter? I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, exactly. And we can become blinded as well by what we think's great, and then our friends will say, yeah, that's great. But then when you put it out in the market and it doesn't happen, you just think, oh, okay then. So market research, definitely. So I had my 12 guinea pigs, different businesses all across the country, which was fantastic. And they went through the paces with it. I really crammed it in because I wanted the feedback before I launched. And it's been brilliant. It's been a massive learning curve as well for me, in how sometimes how you actually ask people to complete a task. It showed me some of the good old tech in there. It's like, okay, we can work with that. But that's been brilliant because I could have just launched it. People could have gone, this is great, but I can't do that, and then just not bothered. So it's been brilliant.
Excellent. So what is your program called?
So it's called Marketing Footprint. So it's coming under the Customer Love umbrella still. So Customer Love is still there, but Marketing Footprint is one part of it. And it takes you right from the very basics. So actually understanding what are your goals for the next 12 months. And it's amazing how many people haven't actually looked at that. So I take them through that stage with understanding their goals, how they're going to achieve those goals, and taking them through the sales process in a, you know, everybody talks about the sales funnel, but I've actually taken them back one step further into how many inquiries do you need to get into that sales funnel. Yeah. I've looked at conversions, etc. Then into ideal clients, again, because when people market to everybody, they market to nobody. And I always have a thing where I say to people, who's your target market? And I say, oh, everybody. And I say, well, even McDonald's doesn't have everybody.
Yeah.
They don't have people who only eat organic. They don't have vegans. They don't have people who don't eat fast food, who make their own food. They don't have everybody. So nobody has everybody, even the NHS.
Yeah, it's really good to just think about that, because it is a very easy, it's a lazy get out, although we don't appreciate that we're being lazy when we're thinking about that.
And we do sort of think, oh, everybody will love this, everybody will want it.
Mm.
But then when you come to market it, it's, well, how do you actually attract everybody? And it's very hard to attract everybody. When you think about the big brands who are trying to get an even bigger part of the market share, the amount of advertising they're spending. McDonald's, you'd think now that everybody would know McDonald's, but they still advertise and advertise and advertise. And as small businesses, you haven't got that budget. So you have to really hone down on who you want to work with.
Fabulous. So marketing footprint. I beg your pardon, Nan.
I was going to say, same as your network, you're not going out to everybody.
No.
You're looking at key people within businesses, aren't you?
That's right, yeah. So marketing footprint, has been launched.
It's about to be launched.
It's about to be launched. How exciting, which is fantastic. And good luck with that. It sounds great, especially in this current climate. People have to do marketing, but they can come to you at whatever level that is right for their business, which sounds fantastic. So you're really good at motivating your clients into taking action. So what motivates Anne?
Oh, just a big stick. No. No, for me, motivation. I get motivation out of some really simple things. So I read a lot. Most of that is business books, and I love to find out about how different businesses have come about, and different people's thought processes as well. So I'm always learning. I listen to Audible all the time, again, business books. Although I did find the Hairy Bikers Audible, I found that absolutely fascinating because of their background. So I'm quite autobiographical as well. I do enjoy people's stories. Yeah. So weirdly, books motivate me. The gym when I get there, when I can get back.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Great. And I think that just drawing a parallel with that, when in my business, I get huge motivation when one of our members has a great story to tell, when something that they've tried and works, whether that be collaboration. And I know from working with you in the past that you really enjoy other people's success, which is fantastic.
Such a buzz.
Yes, brilliant.
And I love having conversations with people who are doing things, so as well as the books, actually having those conversations. Love it.
You have made that big leap from being stuck in the early days of the pandemic and lockdown to where you are now. For those businesses out there who are not quite at the stage where they can see a way out, what tips have you got for them? What words of advice can you offer?
Okay, so things that I've done, I took a step back. So I shut the computer down for 3 days. All I did was read emails first thing in the morning and last thing at night, and only answered anything that was absolutely urgent. Everything else I just literally walked away from. And I gave my brain that space to think. And I think that even now, it's quite difficult to give yourself that space, because if you're a news reader, or you've got family who are in a situation where this is affecting them more than you, it unfortunately does messing with your head, like lots of thoughts. So if you can take some time away, definitely, and then start to think, okay, small steps. So I didn't just go, right, that's it. It was like, okay, let's have a look at what I've got, what I can do with it. So the same with, business people who are in this situation at the moment. Just have be gentle on yourself. Don't force it. And if you have a day where you don't want to do anything, don't do anything.
Really?
Yeah. You know, it's we have this thing, I think, where we sort of think, oh, we must sit at our desk 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. We don't, you know, and it's that time away, because the time we spend at our desk can actually be quite intense. And so, yeah, be gentle, do things in small steps, and don't beat yourself up. Do not, you know, doesn't matter. Don't measure yourself against somebody else. But I think if you're starting to think, okay, I might be going back into trading now, then start to think about, you're going to have to start some of those relationships again, especially if people have carried on trading and you haven't. You know, you're going to have to start to build the conversations and get your name back out there, basically. So consider that as well. You know, you won't go straight from zero to what you were previously. There is going to be a bit of movement in between. So spend your money wisely as well, you know, because it's very easy to go and think, oh, well, I need to do this because I'm from here now and I want to get there. Just treat it gently, almost like you started your business again if you haven't been trading at the moment. So yeah.
Fantastic. That sounds really good advice.
There's a lot, wasn't it?
Oh no, it's common sense advice, but when you're in there, you forget. Common sense goes out of the window because you get really stuck. So yeah, I do like your advice to turn your computer off and give yourself permission to go somewhere else and give yourself some great quality thinking time.
Walking in nature is a really good one, because you start to see things, and it's amazing when our brain actually clears out, the thoughts start to get processed, and then you get something and you think, oh wow. Yes,
that was a good one.
Yeah, definitely. Walking in nature.
Fabulous. Well, thank you for the insights that you've shared with us today, Anne. I'm always in awe of anybody who's put pen to paper and had something published. So as a celebrated author, may I ask you, have you got any other plans to write a book? I beg your pardon, sorry, I just missed that. Are you going to write another book?
Yes, I am. I've got another one in the pipeline.
Are you allowed to tell us anything yet, or is that a conversation for another time?
Conversation for another time. I've actually got two that are buzzing around at the moment. So one will carry on the customer service side and one will be a collaboration.
Ah, excellent. Well, we look forward to that. I look forward to having a conversation with you about that. But for now, Anne Williamson, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No, the pleasure's been mine. Thank you so much for asking me. Really enjoyed it.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
And good luck, everybody. Keep going with things.
Fantastic. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you.